what's up, guys? Got another new video here for you. This is Tuned In Sports. My name is Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
And today we've got another preview for you. This is, yet another week in the college football thing. And we are now into championship weekend for the conferences. So, the Pac-12 championship, the ACC is tomorrow. Big 10, I believe Big 12 has one as well. Big 12 does. It's Oklahoma and Iowa State. But there's just a bunch of different championship games, Mountain West too.
Yep.
And so, hey, we'll see what ends up happening. But, the thing is that there was supposed to be some other teams from this video that were supposed to have games tomorrow. The Michigan Wolverines were supposed to have a game against Maryland, I believe. That was canceled. As well as Colorado was supposed to have a game against USC. That was canceled. Florida State, they were supposed to have their game against, who was it? Wake Forest?
Wake Forest, yeah.
They were supposed to have a game against Wake Forest. That was canceled. And Nevada didn't have a game scheduled for this week. So they're done. Ahead of bowl season, of course. But, so we don't really have anything else to talk about.
Yeah,
the only team that there is to talk about is my team.
Yeah, one thing I want to say before we get started is, it's nice to go on about 6 straight weeks without a loss on our record. Regardless of how that was, why that was, it's nice to be able to at least enjoy the season.
Yeah, for sure. Without the biz. Without getting pounded into the ground week after week.
Yeah, and then, have our few appearances be wins. So.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. I mean, it's kind of a nice thing for you. Haven't lost in a while, so, that's always a good thing. But
and I like what we're doing with our recruiting class and stuff, so it's...
there's some positives to look for into next season. Obviously, they don't have a bowl to look forward to, at least this year. But maybe...
I don't think that will be the case next year either, but, we'll see.
Well, I'm just saying, for sure this year at least.
Yeah.
But, hopefully moving forward, they can, have a bowl to look forward to. So let's go ahead and get into the one team as of right now that is playing, which happens to be my team, the Alabama Crimson Tide. They've got a championship game against the Florida Gators tomorrow. Now, Bennett's gone on record a handful of times on this channel and said that he's not really a huge fan of Alabama and he would like to see some other teams win. However, in this case, I think he'll be rooting for the Tide tomorrow.
Yeah, well.
Because, all you need to see is Florida State right there to know that
screw the Gators.
Yeah, he's not a huge Gators fan. So, with that being said, we actually, we got a game against him tomorrow, and it's going to be really interesting. Florida, U of F. U of F actually has got now 2 losses on the season. They lost 1 game to Texas A&M, and then they're also coming off a loss to LSU last week. And, nobody was expecting... I don't think a lot of people were expecting them to lose to Texas A&M, though.
LSU.
I think Texas A&M was expected to be a pretty good game, but I think a lot of people expected Florida to win, but especially the LSU game because LSU's really struggled this year. So the fact that they lost to them, not to say they got creamed or anything. It was a close game, but still they lost. I think that took a lot of people by surprise. And so with that being said, there's a couple of things that they can do with that. Yeah. Sometimes you might see that happen, and then that just equals them giving up on the season. And so therefore, they'll turn around and just end up losing again next week and not show up for the game. That's something that can happen. I've seen it happen with Alabama in bowl games before where, they were expected to go to the championship game. They accumulated a loss or two along the way, and everybody just was like, shoot, we're playing in a meaningless bowl. Why the hell should we care? And just not even show up for their bowl game. And it sucks when that happens. But, I mean, I get it. When expectations are up here and you finish down here, finding the motivation to play for some people can be difficult. So I'm not sure, if that is the case with Florida. I don't think that will be. I think they still want to win the SEC regardless of if they can get to the playoff or not. So I see them showing up and being a game team for tomorrow because they're really a good team. So I don't see this as a walkthrough easy game by any means. I think this could be our toughest opponent of the year, or at least at least right there with our toughest game of the year.
Yeah, I think Bama's gonna end up winning this by double digits. Unfortunately, I just don't think. I mean, not really unfortunately, because I could really care less about really either of these teams. But I don't think Florida has enough. So, and after coming off a loss to LSU, if they play like that, they're gonna get smoked.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, I got Alabama winning this and
pretty handily.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest thing and the biggest reason why I think this is going to be a tough game is because Kyle Trask, he has 3,717 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. And then Mac Jones has 3,321 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 3 picks. But Kyle Trask is a Heisman runner right now. So he's you would think he's a really good quarterback. And generally in the past, the people that have beaten Alabama are teams that have great quarterback play. And so with that being said, this is a team that has great quarterback play. And I also don't think our defense is as good as it's been in years past. So that's why I think it's going to be a tighter game. I think it's going to end up being a shootout because I think their offense is probably better than our defense has seen this year. And I think if Kyle Trask plays like the Heisman candidate that he is, we could have our hands full on defense. However, I also think we have probably a better offense than last year, which is crazy to think, but I truly believe that we might have a better offense, and that's even with Waddle being injured and out. And so I truly believe that, it is Florida's defense is going to have their hands full as well. If they gave up 45 points to LSU, this could be a long afternoon on defense for them as well. Because I think our offense is really, really, really good. Now, like I said, I don't think that this is going to be a walkthrough. I wouldn't be surprised if we did end up blowing the doors off of it at the end and winning by 10 plus. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, but I see it being pretty competitive most of the way through the game. I see it being single digits or 2 touchdowns or less.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens.
We'll see. Yeah.
I already think probably Florida's already out of the playoff.
Yeah, they are.
Picture. So, to me, I don't feel like outside of just winning their conference, they're really playing for anything.
Yeah.
That's.
But winning the SEC is not nothing.
Well, no, it's not. But I'm just saying.
I agree though. I could see a situation where they're like, shoot, we could have been
we could have been in the playoffs.
Yeah, we could have been in the playoff, and now even if we win this game, we're probably out.
Yeah, exactly.
So why bother?
Yeah, exactly.
Why get hurt? But, I think what's really going to be key in this game is being able to run the ball because, I feel like time of possession, who's on the field more, who has the ball longer is going to be a big key. And so if Alabama can run the ball well and then on the other end stop the run, I think that's going to be a big key. And, Kyle Trask, I feel like he's a really good quarterback. So if he has a big day, I mean, it is what it is. You knew he was. I mean, it's kind of like in the NBA and stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm going to come in here and lock down LeBron. No, you're not. He's going to do what he does and get his points.
Yeah, exactly.
You just got to guard the people around him. You know what I mean? Or any of the great players in any sport, really. I mean, to sit here and think that you're just going to totally lock them up is a little bit ridiculous. Now, in football, maybe more than other sports, you can definitely affect how he does a little bit more, maybe. I don't know about, too much, but I'm just saying I definitely think you can affect his performance in football just by getting him out of his comfort zone and stuff and putting more weight on him and your blitz coverages and stuff. Yeah. But I don't know. I think if we can at least keep Kyle Trask contained where he's not just completely throwing to wide open people and doing all kinds of crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
Either way, I think even in a shootout, we end up winning. But I'm just saying, I think this could be a very tough game. And definitely not a game that we should look over on the way to the playoffs. But typically, Alabama's not a team that does that. They're not generally a team that takes anybody lightly. They show up and they're consistent week to week. You don't have to worry about, oh boy, here comes the game against Vanderbilt. Are they going to be ready for it? I mean, they show up and are pretty much the same team week to week. It's just when they get against the tougher opponents, sometimes some of their weaknesses definitely get exposed. And like I said, I mean, in past years, who are the teams that have beaten us? Deshaun Watson, great quarterback, playing at the NFL. Johnny Manziel beat us. In college, was in the NFL, number 1 overall pick, and in college, dude was a beast. Joe Burrow, exactly. In the NFL, great quarterback. So the teams that have gotten an advantage against us are generally teams with high-powered offense and good quarterback play. And if Florida can get that, which I think they're capable of, this could be not an easy game. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that, I mean, I don't think we're going to lose. I think we could, but I'm not saying that we could easily get blown out tomorrow because I don't see that happening, but I'm just saying it could be pretty close. The spread is 17.5 favored for Alabama, and I could easily see it being inside that. As a matter of fact, if I was to bet this game, I would take Florida on the bet to finish inside 17 points.
I don't know. It's just going to be dependent on what Florida team shows up.
Yeah, for sure.
If it's the one against LSU, then get ready for an ass whooping. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, and the other thing, too, is like, I believe that Dan Mullins is a really good coach also. The guy that they have at Florida right now. I believe he's a really good coach, so I think he'll have them ready to play. So, anyway, we'll see what happens, but, for him, he said Alabama wins. I'm going to say Alabama wins this game as well. In terms of how much I think they'll win by, I don't know. like I said, I could easily see this turn into a shootout. I'm going to say Alabama wins by 13 points. I don't know about the score. I'd say 48-35. Alabama wins.
For me, I would probably be in generally that kind of same area. I think it could be a little bit. I think I'm gonna go like 17-point victory.
So 48-31.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably what I would.
So you think the spread is about right?
Yeah.
17 and a half.
It always seems to be that way.
Yeah, you'll be right
off.
on. You'll be right on the hook, of course. Right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but either way, I'm really pumped for the game, and I'm interested to see what we look like against Florida. I think this is going to be a good test and a good, especially defensively more than offensively, because I feel like offensively we'll be just fine. Our offense has been outstanding this year. Mac Jones is great, and Najee Harris, Devontae Smith. In some respects, I feel like he might deserve the Heisman or being a Heisman candidate more than Mac Jones. I mean, I've watched that guy do some incredible things at wide receiver. But regardless, I'm just saying, I know what the offense is. They've shown it week after week. It's going to be really the defense that at times has looked kind of iffy. How are they going to perform against a Heisman caliber quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna. If they struggle, we could struggle. If they perform well, then this could easily turn into pretty much every other game that we've had this season, where it's not close. But we'll see. Either way, like I said, super excited. So if you guys like the video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and make sure you go and check out the Quip joint over here for Clippers news and stuff like that. And for the Seminoles, this is the end of the season, so hopefully they can get it figured out for next year. Go Noles, roll Tide, and yeah. So my name's Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
And we'll see you guys.
Fear the spear.
Fear the spear, yeah. Roll Tide. We'll see you guys in the next video.